Three giant egos. I think that they are all guilty in their own way of causing this big falling out. But we have three big beasts of the right-wing movement. You easily see Restore get one MP and it'd be Rupert Lowe, only getting like 100,000 votes. So one candidate wins in one seat and everybody has the correct word about all of this. Because when I was a kid, it was incredibly difficult to tactically vote. Now it's really easy. Large numbers of people know which political party is going to do your political organisation. And what you could do is back candidates from other political parties, like the Co-op Party. Now, they've gone on the Nick Tynecone down the road of being a...
Give me a minute, I'm going making a brew. Follow me! Now that bagel took me about 2 minutes to make from start to finish, and that's because I have got all my functions working perfectly, but not everyone has. And sometimes we take for granted that we can just do whatever we want to do without even thinking about how difficult it may be for other people who haven't got all the functions and have to compromise and have to work hard and have to make things work that we just don't have to try to do at all. Now, I don't want anybody to get offended by me talking about disabilities, or at least our lack of disabilities. I don't want to come across as patronising. It's very difficult when you've got situations like this that you want to talk about. I'm not frightened of talking about them, but I certainly do not want to think that I may have upset anyone in any way. So this is just my way of saying to the rest of us, those of us who can just go through life, that we are very, very, very lucky. And sometimes we don't really accept that. We don't think about that. We just think about the little things that go wrong. And then we think we're the victim, and we think the world's against us, and we think that it's all hard and difficult and challenging, when it isn't. For most of us, it's very easy. For those of us who have to live with any kind of disability, and I know because my mother was totally deaf all my life, or at least she was about 90% deaf and then lost her hearing completely in the last 15, 20 years of her life. So I've seen that, and sometimes her deafness annoyed me. And it's only now that she's gone that I start thinking about little things, how I used to get frustrated and anger with her deafness. So let's talk about it. Sometimes we have to talk about uncomfortable things, but I will try to make it as light-hearted as possible. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. It's the morning after the night before, and it's quite calm, and it's quite... I can hear that. There's birds singing above my head, and the wind has dropped. The sky, there's clouds, but you can almost see the blue fighting to come through. The water in the reservoir to my left is still and flat like a mill pond. It's absolutely a beautiful morning. You can feel spring is ready to spring into our faces with all new life and new growth and new babies running about in the field. I love it. I love it. And to continue from yesterday, we want to talk about how we should be grateful for being healthy and having all our facilities and being able to negotiate and work our way through the world without too much trouble. But being healthy and fit isn't something we should actually feel guilty about. We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people who aren't as fortunate as we are. People who aren't as fortunate as we are, I'm sure they don't want to be compared against others. None of us do. None of us like to be compared against other people. Many of us, the fit and well, actually makes us feel guilty for being fit and well, when it was just The cards we were dealt at the beginning of our lives, the cards we've been dealt throughout our lives, they've kept us fit and well. I'm fit and well. Okay, I've got ailments that people get in older age, but I can still see, hear, move. I can do anything I want. If somebody said, we are going to do this, I can do anything. If somebody said, we are going to climb that mountain, okay, I could do it. I'd be very, very slow. They would be there hours before me, but I would get there eventually because I can. Basically, because I can. So I think we need to just talk about why we should be grateful for just having our health and having our fitness and having the ability to go through life and to be able to take advantage of everything that life offers. And I think that's it, isn't it? It's to being grateful for being able to take advantage of everything that life offers. We have no fear of missing out, have we? We have no FOMO. Because we can. It is our decision. Whatever we want to do in life, it is our decision. Whatever risks we want to take, whatever we want to do, we can do it. It's just up to us. Life hasn't dealt us a hand where any kind of restriction in our life dictates how far we can go or what we can do. And like I said yesterday, I don't want to come across as patronising to people who aren't as able-bodied as I am. I've got friends who aren't as able-bodied as I am, and if they thought I would ever be patronising to them, I would get a pint of ale tipped over my head promptly. No, I'm not being patronising. I'm just talking to the people out there who can do exactly what I can do, when I can do it, where I can do it, who have got that total freedom. I'm just talking about you and why you and I should be grateful for that. So let's just go through a few of the things that make our life completely fulfilled 24/7. When your body works well, you have total freedom, total independence, independence to walk, to drive, to cycle, whenever or wherever you want. You have the freedom to do it whenever you want. You actually have the freedom to do everything in life without assistance. And I think that is important. You have to do it without assistance. You don't require anyone to help you to walk, to help you to move, to help you to dress, to help you to feed, to help you to see, to help you to walk through the countryside, unable to see the countryside with somebody beside you describing it. And I've done that. And it's great for the person who's doing the describing. It's a great responsibility because the person you're describing it to is depending on you to paint that picture for them. You have to be a very adroit artist. And it's a great responsibility and it's a thrill, but at the same time, you are getting fulfillment out of describing something to someone who will never, ever, ever have the opportunity to be as fulfilled as you are. And then and we should just think about that occasionally. When we're looking round the countryside, I get up in the morning and I just get up, go downstairs, put my coat on, go outside and walk about in the countryside. And I never think about what freedom that gives me. I take it for granted. I think that's the thing that most of us do, a lot of us do, is to take our health and take our well-being and take our freedom to walk in these fields. Sheep in the field at the side of me there, I can feel the cool temperature on my fingers, on my limbs, in my face. I look over to the right, there's a little bit of snow on top of the hill to my right. The colours are muted, it's early morning, there's cloud, slightly muted, but the promise of colours popping later in the day. I just described what I can see as I turn 360 degrees, and I take all that for granted. Take it for granted. And there are millions of people across the world who can never do that, or will never be able to do that. Just turn 360 degrees and take in a beautiful landscape and imprint that on the memory to think about on a dark and dreary day. And we should be grateful for that, shouldn't we? Being fit and well gives us more physical strength, physical ability. I think it gives us probably more resilience to stress. It gives us the ability to participate in hobbies and games and pastimes that many people can't participate in. It gives us the ability to take part in life, to contribute in life more than a lot of people. A lot of people with disabilities do wonderful things. Athletes, adventurers, authors, actors, poets, musicians, of course they are. But whatever they do, there is always that slight restriction, that slight, I can do something you can't do. And I think we have to appreciate that we can participate completely in life. We can take life by the scruff of the neck and say, right, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to climb that mountain. I'm going to swim that river. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run that race. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to appreciate this. And I'm going to appreciate everything that the world can offer me. And somebody might be able to participate in 90% of that, but if they can't participate in 100% of that like you can, then they are at a slight disadvantage. And we shouldn't take it for granted, should we? I take this for granted. I take it for granted. I take little Molly for granted as she trots up behind me and looking across at these fields and trees behind me that are still in this beautiful landscape. Very English, birds singing in the background miles away, sheep in the fields, the grass is damp, everything's damp, it must have rained overnight, and I can feel that on my skin, and I can smell it, I can smell the dampness in the air. I can hear everything, and I can see everything, and I can touch everything, and I can appreciate everything, and I can participate in everything. I can participate, I can be as one with the landscape because I am fit and well. I can hear, I can see, I can touch, I can walk, I can dream, I can appreciate 100%. And that gives me an advantage over somebody who can appreciate 99%. And I should be grateful for that 1%, because that 1% makes all the difference. I think one thing that many of us don't really take into consideration is that people around the world, millions of people around the world, live day to day with chronic pain. And that chronic pain means they spend their lives managing that pain, managing the medicines that are given to them to combat that pain. They live their lives making the most of life with that pain, with that discomfort, with that restriction. And we don't, for the most part. when you get to my age, you have aches and pains. Of course you do. Most of those aches and pains are due to what you did, to the way you enjoyed your life to the full when you were younger. Like my mum used to say, you'll suffer for this in older life. And I said, rubbish, go away, old woman. And now I'm suffering for this in older life. But that tells my tale. That's the book I've written. My pain, every pain is a chapter that helps me remember what a great life I've had. I think good medical health can lead to better sleep, better mood regulation, clearer thinking. I think it becomes easier, or it is easier, to combat, to face challenges during the day. Challenges during the day that we take for granted. Small challenges, the little things that happen day in, day out that we don't think about at all, but may be made to task for somebody else and we don't think about them. We just go through our day, we sort them out, we carry on. We can't even, a minute later you won't even remembered that little task, that little part of life that comes easy to you, but may be very difficult or even impossible for somebody else. But we do it. We go through these little motions, we go through these little tasks, and we complete them, and we never think about them. And then it's gone. And we carry on wandering through life, happy, while someday, 20 minutes later, may still be struggling with that small task that we took for granted and just did without thinking. One thing we don't consider, in my opinion, is that when we are well, we also have the capacity to help others that not everyone has. We have the capacity to support others, to support our loved ones, to support just the man in the street, our fellow man. We have the capability to be that crutch. We have the capability to be that shoulder to lean on, to give, to contribute. And that's something else I think we take for granted, that we are here at a whim, in a moment. We can step in, support someone who needs it without even thinking. And this is something else we probably do without thinking about it, and then move on through our lives without thinking about it again, and it just disappears into the mist of time, is that you've helped someone. You've got the capacity to contribute and be a good fellow man that not everyone has. Some people's restrictions restrict them from helping others to the capacity to which you can. Yes, we can all help others, but what I'm saying is that you have that extra percent. Any restriction at all is a restriction. You may be able to help someone 100%, doing every task that you're asked to help with, where somebody else may not be able physically to help with some of those tasks, which means they can help, but you have that slightly more, couple of percentage points advantage to help completely. And again, I think this is something we should be grateful for. We shouldn't just be grateful for the things that benefit us. We should also be grateful for the knowledge that we have the capacity to help other people. We have the capacity to be the total Good Samaritan. And this, in my opinion, that's something we should take advantage of. We should help when people need help. We should give our time if our time is there to give. We should make the most of our time here. Time here isn't all about taking in experiences, taking in sensations, taking in thrills and fun. It's also about giving. There's a great feeling of well-being to help your fellow man, to just do something for somebody else. And a lot of people haven't quite got the capacity to do that, and a lot of people haven't got the capacity at all to do that. And these people may wish they could. Wish. I wish I could do that. And there's many things that we wish we could do, isn't there? There's many little trivial things that are complete incidentals that we wish we could do, and we can't do them for any reason, any restriction in our life. May it just be work or family commitments or financially, when we just can't do them, and we beat ourselves up about that, and we feel cheated, and we feel I wanted to do that and I can't do it, and now I feel sorry for myself and I'm the victim. When that's just nothing, is it? That is just nothing, because those are restrictions that society has put on us, and those are restrictions that we can get over quite easily. There is always the capacity, there's always the chance that we will be able to do those things. When we haven't got the family commitments, when we're financially better off, we will be able to do those things. But there are many millions of people throughout the globe who could never, ever do that, who want to do something but have to get it into their heads that it ain't going to happen. They have to live their lives with the knowledge that no matter I want to do that, you're not going to be able to do it. Put it out of your mind. We're all told that, aren't we? Put it out of your mind. You can't do that, put it out of your mind, but you can't put it out of your mind. Once it's in your mind, it's in your mind. So there are people out there who live their whole lives wanting to do things and can't. No, they can't, but their whole being doesn't want to accept that, so it's always there. I feel like I'm speaking for other people, and I feel like I shouldn't really, but these are just my thoughts, and I don't want anybody to be offended or think, why are you talking about me like that? You're saying how I should feel, how I feel. No, this is just my interpretation of it. As a completely 100% fit and well person, all right, 100%, got restrictions, but at least I can come out here every day and wander about with my dog in all weathers. And that's all I want to do, and then all the hobbies I have at home, I can do those at a whim. I can just pick something up and do it. I've got the freedom to do that. And that's all I'm doing. All I'm saying is we should appreciate that, appreciate the freedoms that we have by being fit and well and healthy and no restrictions. Walks in nature, food, music, movement, spontaneity, spontaneous moments. We all like that, don't we? We all like doing things on a whim. Gives us that guilty little frisson, doesn't it? Oh, how naughty am I? I'm doing something spontaneously. All the physical sensations we enjoy as well, that we just take for granted. All the smells and sounds and sights, everything. Everything that nature, everything that life, everything that the world has to offer, we can take advantage of it. It's like a sweet shop. We can go in and we can pick all our favourite sweeties and gorge on them, just like we can gorge on life. But we have to remember at the end of the day, health isn't always guaranteed. These are sensations that you may lose at a whim, you may lose in a moment, I may lose in a moment, I may fall over now, do some damage that will restrict me for the rest of the short time I've got left here. And we have to take that into consideration, and we have to appreciate that as well, don't we? Health isn't guaranteed. Health is a gift, and we have to look after it. It's like a delicate Ming vase. If we drop it, there's so much precious value shattered that can be never be put together again. So we should go out, enjoy life, enjoy every sensation you possibly can, gorge yourself on life's sensations, but at the end of the day, appreciate it. Think back, just occasionally, just count your blessings, people, count your blessings. And we're going to carry on now counting our blessings as we wander up this path, and Molly's happily trotting along at the side of me, very slowly now, but she is. Her sight's going, almost completely now. She jumps when I get near her. I offer her a treat at home now and she jumps when I put it near her face because she doesn't see it until it's right in front of her nose. But she's adapted. She's adapted. Dogs, animals are wonderful things. And we should appreciate them as well. And what, as fit and healthy people, we can do with them. So we shall carry on and we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.